Hey everybody, this is Mark Stamp. I am gonna cut some arrows with my new MODSAW. I have the RIP TKOs. They are a .003 straightness. They're the gamer version, so they're the middle of the road, I guess, as far as price point on the RIP TKOs. Using the MODSAW, I like this thing a lot. It's got the spinner on there where you can check your straightness. It's got the this part right here actually has a little piece of sandpaper in there. You can square them up after you cut them. And then it's got the knock insert down at the other end that the arrow sits in. And then of course you got a little shelf here in the middle, and then you can turn it on. That's all the louder that the saw is itself. The loud part is actually the vacuum cleaner that's attached right here. You can kind of see the thing. Got my scale out here. I was weighing the arrows earlier, but anyway, if I pull this out here, you can see the tube that goes to my vacuum cleaner. That's what makes the most noise. The saw itself is pretty quiet. And if I was out in the shop, I probably wouldn't worry about the vacuum cleaner. But I'm at the dining room table and I don't want to get killed, husbands. You know what I'm talking about. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna fire this all up. It's gonna get loud probably for right now. So I'm gonna quit talking and just kind of start cutting. All right, so just that fast, that's a dozen arrows cut. And now you just take each one of them and one by one, take them, put them on the roller, and I roll them both ways just for a few seconds, get them squared off, and that's all there is to it. They're probably pretty square coming off of the saw, but in case I make a mistake, you know, cutting into them or whatever, you get a rough edge or something, you can kind of fix that quick and in a hurry. And I'm probably sanding them more. I'm probably being a lot more careful and tedious than I would be if I was a shop owner or something like that, because they'd be on a time crunch and they're paying somebody to do it, and they wouldn't want me taking as long as I do per arrow. But I got all night, so not a deal. I don't think I mentioned my length. I have a 31-inch draw length, so that I'm kind of one of those limited people. I can't shoot those nice shorter hunting bows that are convenient and don't take up a lot of space when you're going, you know, in a tree and all that kind of stuff. So I've got a 33, well, it's a Lift X 33 by Matthews, and it's set to a 31-inch draw length. I did just recently switch over to the Z mods on that project, and actually increased my poundage by 5 pounds. I only pull 65 pounds now. It was 60 pounds before, but even with the 60-pound mod in that Lift X, it was actually about 62, and even as much as 63 when I first got my bow restrung. But 61 to 62 seems to be more common what it was with the regular SWX mods. Just switched to the Z mods. The 65-pound mod is actually pulling at 67 pounds for all you teenagers watching. Anyway, so 67-pound draw weight with a 31-inch draw. The guy at the bow shop said I won the lottery when it came to draw length, because it just helps with your speed and everything. You can have a lower draw weight and still have pretty fast arrow speed, so that's nice. But at the same time, I can't get a regular Lift X or the new Arc 30. I would have had to have gotten the new Arc 34 or any of the 30-inch class bows, 29, 30-inch axle to axle. I can't use them because most of them top out at a 30-inch draw length. Can I make that work? Sure. Is it very accurate for somebody with a 31 that's pulling 30? No. So anyway, so I shoot my Lift 33, Lift X 33, and I like it. It's a good bow. There's a lot of them, I wish I'd have tried others. That, the Darton looks like a really good bow with all its features and draw lengths. I think they go up to a 35 axle to axle on one of their new bows. I'm not going to venture to say the name because I'd get it wrong. I think last year they had a sequel, and I don't know what the new one's name is. But anyway, that's a dozen arrows in just that time, sawed and squared off, ready for me to put the inserts in, put wraps on, put the fletchings on, and they'll probably be ready to shoot. We'll see you next time.